So it was like my second or third home game, and I hadn't even been in the game yet. And I had tried to get in the gym, and they stopped me. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, this is the player's entrance." I was like, "I know." He looked at me confused, and then so I was looking at him confused. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you a trainer?" And I just kind of was just like standing there. And then another security guard came over and like whispered, "I think he plays on the team."
At guard, it's number 17, Jeremy
Hey, Jerry. Hi.
Nobody thought he could play. He had to fight for everything that he got.
It's not often you think you've seen something you couldn't possibly see in the NBA.
Lin puts it up. Bang!
Wait a minute, who's this kid? Wait, where's he from? Wait, not drafted? Wait, how many teams waived him?
When this guy is playing and Golden State doesn't know he's any good, Houston doesn't know he's any good, I got to imagine that something has to do with he doesn't look the part.
Jeremy Lin came from nothing to greatness. This kid is giving hope to all those kids that think never could I have a chance.
I always told myself my progression is going to be become a rotation player, become a starting point guard, and then win an NBA championship. And people are definitely going to laugh when they hear that. You know, they're not going to be laughing until it actually happens.
Inside Arco Arena, it's modern day and Palo Alto. It's the CIF Division II State Championship just moments away from tip-off.
I think a lot of people just assume that getting to the state championship game, Palo Alto would be satisfied with. Jeremy Lin would be satisfied with it. And it was just much more of a formality when they played modern day high school. Southern California schools dominate the rankings. They're the powers at B. Palo Alto out in the suburbs, not so much.
Everybody said Modern Day was the team. Modern Day is the big dog. Modern Day, number 11 in the country.
The whole week leading up to the game, it was just like, how are we going to get a rebound? How are we going to be able to play?
I remember walking around campus, and there were all these reporters, and they'd be like, "Oh, you think you can win? Like, how are you going to beat them?" And everyone was asking me, my friends were asking me. By the end, they were like, "You think you could beat them?" I was like, "Man, just come to the game and watch."
Along with Mater Dei's decorated history and dominant reputation, this varsity team had 8 players over 6'6".
I was kind of relieved that we were playing Palo Alto. But the more I watched my tape, I just had a feel, you know what? These guys are better than I thought. You know, and you don't get to the state finals by not being good.
There's Lin. Needs something good, and he finally got it.
We were not intimidated at all and really came out playing our game.
There's Lin. Oh, there's that quick first step that they talked about. Palo Alto on a 9-2 run, and that's over. That kid can stroke the triple.
Everybody on paper would say the size, the athleticism, the quickness is with the Monarchs. But it's the heart that is with the Vikings, and their heart has been on display so far tonight.
At the end of the game, he hit the big shots at the big moments.
Here's Lin. Without that 7-footer, you can go to the rack.
When the game was on the line, you know, he took over.
4 seconds on the shot clock, and Lin is going to have to launch a 25-footer. And raked it in!
Did he call that? I don't think he called that.
It happened.
No one gave them a prayer to be on the floor with the athletes and the thoroughbreds that the Monarchs have.
It's the best feeling to go out on top. I mean, it is a dream come true.
It's why we love high school basketball. It's because of faces like that.
There is Tommy Amaker, 1987 graduate of Duke, of course, first year at Harvard, 11th year overall as a head coach, 180 career wins.
With the hiring of former Michigan coach Tommy Amaker, Harvard was committed to a new era in their basketball program. Amaker was a star player at Duke University, then spent 9 years as an assistant coach to the legendary Mike Krzyzewski. The basketball landscape at Harvard was about to be transformed, and Jeremy was leading the charge.
We knew we had something pretty interesting, especially with Jeremy, because of how hard he worked, first of all, and how important basketball was to him. And then his talent. I think he was very much underrated. And I think he wanted to play in the style and the system, you know, that we were going to implement, which is going to be high octane. And he's a hard-charging, aggressive, fearless player.
A steal by Jeremy Lin. He's going to go in for the easy jam.
Looking up ahead, Lin splits defenders and lays it in. All right, now.
My 15 years of coaching, my 4 years at Duke, I've never seen anybody work as diligent and as hard as Jeremy. He came in every day and put the work in. We watched film every day. We did work before and after practice. He busted his tail and he did all the things that we asked him to do.
Top of the circle, deep three, Jeremy Lin.
It seems the bigger the game, the better he played.
It's Big East basketball as the 13th ranked UConn Huskies host the Crimson of Harvard.
Now keep an eye on Jeremy Lin today. This is the type of player that can single-handedly help Crimson pull off a miraculous upset.
He was the best player on the floor. You know, that's saying a lot when you're speaking of a team as the caliber of a Connecticut.
Wow, what a move on the runner off the glass. Timeout.
I think that's when everybody was like, all right, he's more than just like a good college player. Like, he just made a very good team look bad.
Casey had it knocked away and a steal by Dyson. Takes Lin to the basket and Lin blocks him at the rim.
What a block.
Scoring 30 points there, being forced to deal with in every way.
They're back to Lin, top of the key. Pump fake, drives in, throws it down with both hands. Oh, what a dunk by Jeremy Lin.
He kept us believing all the way through that we have a chance.
This guy's leading this team in every category, not just one. I mean, it wasn't like he was just a scorer. He was the best defensive player, he was the best rebounder, the best passer. You know, he pretty much could do it all.
It was just kind of like those moments where it was crunch time and winning time. You know, who's going to step up?
Back the other way comes McGurdy into the front court, drives down the right lane line, goes up with the right hand, lays it in. 3 seconds left. Harvard back the other way, down by a point. Jeremy Lin bumped at midcourt, lays in, he's fouled.
When I was growing up, I was playing in the AAU tournaments. We would play in games, and a couple times people would be like, yo, take your ass back to China, or like, you're a Chinese import, or whatever. When I got to college, it just like got crazy. It was just like, you chink, you know, can you even open your eyes? Can you see the scoreboard? You know, just like crazy stuff. And I'd just be like, dude, like, what is going on?
Being in the spotlight brought Jeremy an inevitable byproduct: attention, both positive and negative.
I mean, people look at basketball players in terms of race. A lot of times, basketball is not considered an Asian sport here in America. You'd be playing on the road, specific gyms in the Ivy League, and they would yell racial slurs to them.
It was shocking to me to see racial taunts in the Ivy League, because you think that at that level, certainly in this supposed, you know, very academically, progressively oriented group of schools full of Asian students on their campuses, that would be something that was unthinkable, but it wasn't.
And I just told them it's a sign of respect. Yeah, they're ignorant, but at the end of the day, they're trying to get in your head. You're thinking about what they're saying and not thinking about the game.
Jeremy would stand right beside me on the side of a court and not really get in even in practice. He was just there in case one of these guys got hurt.
I pretty much saw the writing on the wall. I was like, I'm pretty much done. And like, I was resigned to the fact that I was gonna get let go.
Standing on the side of the court, he comes up to him and he goes, hey coach, I've got a question. I go, what is it, Jeremy?
I'm taking a taxi everywhere. Should I ship my car out here? And he was like, you know, probably not. I was like, oh hell, I'm gonna get waived.
And so I went and talked to Glenn. I said, Glenn, what do you think? And he goes, well, we haven't really seen him. We don't know. And I said, you know what? Let me try to see if we can get him in a couple games before Tuesday and just see what happens.
They're like, look, you're going to play tonight. I want you to go out there. I don't want you to do too much. I was like, okay, I won't.
points for Garnett. Lynn coughs it up. Bradley to the rim.
I didn't do too much. I pretty much did nothing. I played horrible. You know, I missed shots. I had turnovers. I had bad fouls.
Lynn reached in.
I thought at most I had one more chance the next game. I was like, okay, I just screwed the Boston game. I probably will get cut, but they may give me one more chance tomorrow.
I prayed that day, and my prayer is, God, if this is your will for him to play NBA, you need to show us.
And there's Morrow. Morrow knocks it down. Williams sets himself, puts up the three, and knocks that one down. And the Knicks find themselves down by 10 already.
Again, Mike, look who's coming in.
Jeremy Lin, and you're a pretty big ovation.
He didn't look tentative. He didn't look overly concerned. He looked like, dude, I'm about to go do it. If they cut me, they cut me. If I don't never play another NBA game, so be it. I'm going to play like Jeremy Lin can play.
Jeremy Lin drives and finishes. Nice play from Lin. Here's the strip minute. Lin throws it ahead to Tony Douglas. Up for the layup, backs it in. Here comes Shepard to Lin. Lin flips it up and puts it in. Jeremy Lin once again.
He finished the half with like 10, 4, and 4. Like good numbers for a half. That was such a higher high than like anything he's like done. So I was like ecstatic at that point. The second half, he just went nuts.
Driving to the basket, does it again. And a chance for a three-point play as he got hit. Bumped by Petro, gets to the rim, count it, and a foul. He is in one special night become a Garden favorite. Will it be remembered?
He was stringing together like 3 crossover moves in a row, like things he's never done before.
Splits the defense again, gets to the rim, pucks it in, and a foul! Wow!
And the crowd on their feet paying homage to this man.
Clyde, even it looks like his teammates don't believe what they're seeing.
I was just so emotional. There's no way they can cut me now. I just had the game of my life.
Again, the crossover, the basket, puts it up, puts it in. Jeremy Lin with 25. And this crowd is going crazy.
Penetrating, manipulating, devastating the Knicks.
He's the hero from Harvard as the Knicks get a much-needed victory on the game of his life. And he is sworn by his ecstatic teammates and a jubilant crowd here at Madison Square Garden.
I'm just thankful to God for this opportunity to be able to come out here and play with this team and this organization.
Man, I was taking a shower and I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, is this water like from the shower or am I actually crying like tears of joy? Well, I was just like so high on emotion. I was so happy. I was sitting in the shower, replaying all of the times in the D-League, all these flashbacks of these tough times I had to go through. And I remember I got out, I saw my family and they were all smiling. I called my agent and he was yelling at me on the phone, you know, like, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it. That was kind of like the much needed breakthrough that I was hoping for.
Before Jeremy Lin's first big game against New Jersey, he really wasn't in the Knicks' plans at that point, and I'm told they had begun to look seriously at replacements.
Clyde, Saturday night, Madison Square Garden sounded as loud as we've heard it all season. He was magnificent. You just hope from a Knicks standpoint that he can run the offense as well as he ran it on Saturday.
I just really wasn't nervous for my first start. And you know, usually I would be, but I don't know why. I just felt really comfortable, and it was just a supernatural peace. And it's one of those things that I can't really explain.
For Jeremy's first NBA start, Amari Stoudemire was out for personal reasons, and Carmelo Anthony suffered an injury in the first half.
Carmelo Anthony comes up hobbling. He's in a lot of discomfort. He can't move right now.
The Knicks desperately needed a leader, and Jeremy would answer the call.
Lin gets around Jefferson, looking, and backs it in. He had a couple of those the other night.
We were running pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll.
It's inside to Jeffries.
I didn't know how he would follow up that New Jersey game because it was such a high, but he just kept making ridiculous layups. He was hitting jumpers.
They didn't know my tendencies. They didn't know my weak spots, my strong spots, my sweet spots. They had never seen me play.
Ahead to Shepherd, back to Lin. Lin gets hit, puts it in. Laser flips it up. Chandler keeps it away. Lin has to put it up. A three-pointer as the shot clock expired.
I'm riding him like friggin' secretariat.
Jeremy Lin with his second consecutive career night. He is the new starting point guard of the Knicks.
He's averaging 26.5 points a game in the last 2 games.
I don't think that's going to continue.
Obviously, that's not going to continue.
And then we hit the road and go to Washington. And it's like John Wall again, Like, I played against John Wall in the Summer League. And now it's like a rematch. Now I'm playing against him again.
Lin on the drive, gets inside. A nice left-handed great play from Jeremy Lin. Breaks it down the floor and throws it down with the left hand.
I was like, dang, he kind of dunked on my head. I was like, I'm gonna try to get him back. A couple possessions later, they messed up their coverage. I had a free lane and I just tried to take the rim down. When I saw that opening, I just tried to dunk it as hard as I could. I don't know, it's just, there's been so much pain and so many trying times, and now they get to play. I'm just letting it all out, man. I'm just letting it all out on the floor. After the game, I just look back and I'm like, man, that was so fun.
Jeremy Lin, are you following that story at all?
No idea. I know who he is, but I don't really know what's going on too much with him.
Are you surprised at the production that Lin's had over the past week?
I don't even know what he's done. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I'm reading all these quotes about what he's saying. Kobe Bryant has no idea who Jeremy Lin is. I'm like, what? I'm like, why would you do that? I didn't say anything about you. I never talked bad about you. So when I heard that, I was like, here we go.
Would you consider guarding him if he's having one of those games?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There is a new man in town. May the best man Lin.
Over under 23 points for Lin tonight, Bomani.
So against the Lakers with those trees they've got inside, it won't be so Linsane tonight.
Kobe or Lin? Who scores more tonight?
I'm going with my guy, Jeremy Lin, right here.
I thought you might do that.
All he does is Lin, baby.
Jeremy Lin in just 1 week has turned things around for his career and for the New York Knicks.
I love it. It's awesome, man. This is like the greatest thing to happen to New York ever.
It's one of those nights and it's one of those stories where it really is why we love sports.
I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but I was like, I'm just gonna be really, really aggressive. Everything was going well. Everything was going down.
Lin puts it up, puts it in. Terrific start. And listen to this Spartan crowd.
I think the one thing where I kind of lost it a little bit, he'd come down, he kind of like stutter stepped and spun, and finger rolled.
Then likes the open floor, spinning, puts it up and backs it in. Sensational play from Jeremy Lin.
The Garden erupted, and to do it on the national stage, anybody who saw that moment will never forget.
Electrifying the Garden again. He's got 18 points.
Welcome to our studios for the Jeremy Lin Toyota Halftime Show.
Jeremy Lin was superb, 7 of 12 from the field, 18 points, 5 assists. Kobe Bryant, the Lakers struggling shooting the ball, but they're only down by 8. Bryant, a couple of fakes, gonna put it up and knocks it down. Struck by Lin, stolen by Lin. Left side shot, left-handed layup. Bryant spinning, difficult shot for some. Yeah. Kobe Bryant again. He is starting to get in one of those zones right now. Gasol is on Lin. Puts up the two-pointer. Puts it in. Jeremy Lin with 31. And a rebound by Jeffries. Lin for 3. Bang!
And my favorite play of this whole year was when I hit that 3 in the corner. Just because that game had so much hype, and that shot was kind of the dagger that put the game out of reach for them.
Already cut twice this season, sleeping on a teammate's couch because he had nowhere else to go, and suddenly Jeremy Lin is the toast of Manhattan.
This is it right here. This is my dream, and I'm just thankful to God, man, because this is my dream being lived out, and I'm so thankful for that.
Jeremy Lin, 38 points. It's the most by a Knick this season. Linsanity continues here at Madison Square Garden.
It's indescribable, really. It's something I've never seen before.
I didn't foresee this coming. You know, it's unbelievable.
This is like how weird I am. I was like, I'm gonna go off this game, and at the end of the interview, they're gonna be like, oh, so do you think Kobe knows who you are now?
Jeremy, you knew somebody was gonna ask you this, but do you think Kobe knows who you are now?
If they ask me that question, I'm gonna be like, who the hell is Kobe? That's what I was gonna say. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I prayed about it. I was like, you know, what would Jesus do? And I'm like, Jesus probably wouldn't say that. So I was like, I'm gonna change my answer.
Well, you guys had to ask Kobe. I don't know.
What you said is a great story. What's the greatest part of it for you?
That we won 5 in a row. That's for me. Just everything. Just here's just what's right with sports. He's an underdog that came up. He does it the right way. Can he play in the NBA? Yeah, of course. He's got all the tools, and he's playing really well. That's not a fluke how he's playing.
They had this one dude courtside who was just yelling at me the whole game. He's like, you're a one-week wonder. You know, you're not gonna win this game. You suck. We were playing bad. We were tired, and I was like, man, this is gonna be a tough one to pull out. We were down 5 with a minute left. You know, got this huge steal, layup, down 3. They're coming down. We get a stop.
The and one at Amir Johnson, who I believe had 5 blocks to that point, ties the game.
Lin fakes the 3, drives, goes in for the layup. It's good, out of foul. Lin could tie it with a free throw.
They come down, miss shot, and now we got the ball with 20 seconds left.
Lin to Shumpert. Shumpert, pull-up jump shot. Back to Walko, Chandler the rebound. And the Knicks will hold it for the final shot as the 24-second clock is shut off. Mike D'Antoni won't call timeout and let the Raptors set up their D. The crowd on its feet here at the Air Canada Center. Lin puts it up. Bang! Jeremy Lin from downtown, and the Knicks take the lead. Amazing here at the Air Canada Center. 10 seconds, everyone standing, 20,000 in Toronto. Get out of his way! Let him just take counter on himself. 3 seconds, Lin sizes him up, straight away 3, buries it. 0.5 remaining. Linsanity continues.
I'm just glad it went like this so we can calm the Linsanity down a little bit.
We couldn't get a stop.
That's all I dream about, is hitting the game winner and then doing some cool little dorky pose and then walking off. You know, that's like all I did growing up. I always wanted to do that. I wanted to know what that felt like.
For the last 2 years, he was never enjoying himself out there. But in that New Jersey game, when things were rolling, for the first time, he was just having fun, living his dream. I think that was the best thing from Linsanity.
The big question now is, can Linsanity continue?
I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now, I don't care.
Lynn out of the corner for three.
Anyone who said they saw this coming is lying.
There's a lot more that he can do than anybody knew, and it comes down to confidence.
Jeremy on the drive. For Jeremy Lin. Got the bang in the bucket.
He's got that swag. He has that it right now.
This transcends sports. It really does.
He has shined and evolved into the best story in sports today.
Pressure in the backcourt. Oh, and Lin will steal to the basket. Lin over Dirk. How good is this?
I'm just out there having fun and playing the game. I can have bad games and, they may not like me or they may boo me. There's a lot more important things in life than just basketball, because at the end of the day, basketball is just a game.
The show continues on Broadway. It's a story with many spokes. An Ivy Leaguer, Asian American athlete, guy off the end of the bench, speaks for everyone who didn't get their chance. It's only a couple of weeks, but in New York City and on basketball's big stage, this guy has hit it out of the park.
What happened to me, the story that happened to me, it wasn't like I knew I could just come off the bench and do that. I really didn't. I thought I could play at this level and I thought I could be a good player, but I didn't feel like that would happen. And some of those experiences out there when I was on the court, I felt like I was being controlled by something else. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. Some of the plays that I made, some of the wins that we had were just so out of this world that I still have to pinch myself to really believe it.
As Jeremy ends one chapter and begins another, the road ahead will continue to test his perseverance, but his faith will forever guide him.
The thing I had to learn last year is a perfect plan doesn't mean that it ends up the way you want it to end up. In the past, if you asked me what a perfect plan, I'd be like, I get what I want, I get my dream, I play well. Now I have a different perspective on what a perfect plan is. You don't get better if you win all the time. You get better when you lose. You improve when you lose. You look at yourself more when you lose. So if you learn a lot, or if I learn a lot, if I grow a lot, if I become a better person through tough times, that's part of his perfect plan. That's part of his perfect will. When I was going through all my insecurities and uncertainty and lack of confidence, I was losing focus on God. I was focusing on all these other things, like my job and what other people thought of me. and what the reporters were writing. You know, over time, I was able to check myself and kind of get my focus back. And I think God did something supernatural in me, something that I couldn't do on my own, something that I may never be able to recreate. So I think in that instance, you know, it's just learning to fight to constantly live and play for God. And when I do that, I'll be able to walk on water